Shawn Michaels from high above! Oh, unbelievable! Unbelievable!
WTF! WTF!
Hello everybody, I'm Ross from Cultaholic.com, and once again I come to you from the top of a ladder because of reasons. Here are all the WTF moments from last night's WWE Raw, and we're starting with a slice of this, aren't we, Corey Graves, you numpty?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Yes, Corey claimed that Alexa Bliss is the first woman in history who had the chance to be able to cash in her newly won Money in the Bank contract on the same night that she won it, and that's just not true. Take yourselves all the way back to 2017 and Carmella won her contract in the Money in the Bank ladder match before Naomi took on Lana later in the night. But of course, WWE, that first ladder match never took place, did it? And then Alexa Bliss claimed that she cashed in on her Money in the Bank contract. What do you mean, pal? You pinned a briefcase? That's impressive. In the words of Shania Twain, though, that don't impress me much. Good luck, Kevin Owens. So as we all saw last night, WWE are telling the story of how Ronda Rousey seemingly doesn't know the difference between WWE and UFC, and I just don't know why, cause maybe who on earth would get them confused? The situations of both shows aren't even comparable in the slightest. And by attacking bare referees and Kurt Angle like she did on last night's Raw, Ronda Rousey is fitting into the sports entertainment world of WWE like Baron Corbin into a baldy bastard convention. I mean, you don't see it happening in the UFC, do you? If when Ronda Rousey rocked up the Raw each time she just stood there and did nothing entertaining, then WWE might have a point. But the fact is that assault she did last night was very entertaining, and what sports entertainment should be, the story WWE are telling just doesn't make sense. But thank goodness WWE have made it loud and clear that they have suspended Ronda Rousey for 30 days because it absolutely does my tits in when she's not on the show, and we don't know why. While I sincerely hope that Ronda Rousey enjoys doing the things that aren't related to professional grappling at all, one problem. Kevin Owens tries to murder a pensioner, no suspension. Ronda Rousey does a hip toss to a professional wrestler and hits a few referees, 30 days off. Don't quite add up to me. Signs and things. Thank you very much to Mason Wood and Seth Gangler. Just how about the next time that you go to a WWE show, you take something Cultaholic related and join them in joining us?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Is it Ziggler or is it McIntyre, Maggle asks? That's an interesting question. Corey Graves says Seth Rollins has got to be worried right now. Does he really? He might be if it's against Drew McIntyre, but against Ziggler, you cannot be serious, Jeff. Dolph Ziggler hasn't won a match in WWE since Survivor Series 2014, man. And he's a feckin' idiot on top of that. Just look at how he dealt with the United States Championship in the arse end of last year on SmackDown Live. Can you tell that I write this script as I go along watching the show?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
You're looking at two fresh, dangerous superstars, Corey Graves says. Well, you're looking at one, and you're looking at Dolph Ziggler. It's not aged well, that one. Maggle. Hashtag enter IC title. Why on earth would anybody do that on Twitter? TW.com, Maggle MC Cole. Two's up on a banjo we go with Maggle Cole, because soon after that he said we're talking about the Money in the Contract ladder match. Case of the JoJo's, pal, you want to go and see a doctor for that? Oh no, not in WWE. You don't want to do that, Maggle. For the record, WWE's medical staff are great. Just in case you missed it, Seth Rollins was announced on last night's Raw as a fighting champion. Just once more, that's fighting champion, and nobody ever mentioned the fact he cheated to win at Money in the Bank. Dolph Ziggler, I am very sorry for everything I've said to you in this video so far, because you are the new Intercontinental champion. And as for you, Seth Rollins, it's not so nice when the tight pulling is on the other arse. Sticking with Dolph Ziggler, and he has a go at the rest of the locker room for a catalogue of things, including their catchy t-shirts, and I reckon it's out of nothing more than sheer jealousy. I know he was having a go at them for being lazy and stuff and putting too much attention on catchy t-shirts and whatnot, but when your catchy t-shirts look like that, you're telling a very different story. Look at the state of those. So it turns out that Corey Graves' nickname in WWE is Gravy. Now this is weird, isn't it? Because everybody loves Gravy, but not everybody loves Corey Graves, isn't that right, chick pugnant mank? Chick magnet punk. Don't care. But WWE, if that there was the number one show on television last week, that means it beat last week's Raw and SmackDown Live, your shows. So why aren't they listed there? You can hide out from me, pals. And next up, we have Michael Cole claim that Stephanie McMahon fooled him on that show where she dressed up in a blonde wig. Of course she did, you goon. Now for the rest of humanity who don't have to kiss her ass, metaphorically I should add, before the tabloids start writing something, as soon as she started talking, the game was up, which of course is very much ironic because every single time she starts to talk on WWE televisions, that's it for me. I'm pissing off as well. Ho ho! That jab at Corey Graves for not having friends on social media being a terrible thing. The pain. Don't worry, Corey. I'll fight you, Corey. Call me tomorrow, Corey. I still love you. And I've just realised why Braun Strowman no longer carries around the greatest Royal Rumble Championship around with him anymore. I won't be able to fit them both in my carry-on thing, Vince. That's got to be what he said when Vince McMahon told him he's going to win money at... Monster. That's Monster in the Bank. And next up we have Braun saying he's done a lot of things in WWE, but the greatest of all these great things was winning the Monster. That's Monster. Monster in the Bank. But what about the greatest Royal Rumble? Don't tell me that's a lie too. I'm still reeling from the fact that earlier this week, Vince McMahon announced that Triple H and The Undertaker will be having a match that will end an era in Australia later this year. And sticking with Braun, one of the great things he said he did was play a cello, which is a lovely, lovely, lovely relief because on every single Raw after he played a cello, the commentators claimed he played a big guitar. And it wasn't a big guitar, it was a cello or a double bass. And then while talking about the Money in the Bank ladder match on Sunday, Braun claimed that he stomped, he smashed and he snatched that contract, proving that WWE's creative team are actually a bunch of kids. I can't wait for the upcoming segment on Raw soon where Braun huffs and he puffs and he blows a house down. He's alive! Somebody spankers, I thought he was dead. Ah, bollocks, even the wrestlers are saying it now as Kevin Owens said Braun Strowman deserved to win the Monster in the Bank contract. Kill that chant. Kill it with fire. Nobody likes you, KO. Hello, Michael Cole screams and never, ever, ever, as the saying, takes one to know one, applied more. I tell you what now, seeing Bo Dallas dressed as Bray Wyatt is bloody bizarre. I didn't realise how much they are alike. They could literally be cousins or something. So Jinder's got a new gimmick. He's found peace, he's achieved self-improvement, he loves the tranquility, and he loves, and I quote, Shanty. Then the bell rings and he goes from being this peaceful, lovely, tranquil Shanty man to being a vicious dick. So essentially, he's Festus or one of Pavlov's salivating dogs. Doesn't seem so good now, does it, Jinder, pal? Enjoying the chaos, Corey Graves says as the Riott squad walk backstage, pushing things over and writing the letter R on an abandoned mirror. Ooh. One question, why would you do all that when the cameras are rolling? Do it when they're not there so nobody can catch you and nobody can blame you and you don't have to pay for the damage you've done. But the worst thing about all of this is the fact they smashed an innocent guy's laptop and weren't suspended because you can't do anything worse than smash somebody's laptop. I'd feel hard done by if I was Ronda Rousey now. Somebody spanked me, I didn't know what's going on. More backtracking from WWE. I know, I've never seen the like of it before. I know they've brought up Sarah Logan's uncle's tater farm before, but what on earth happened to the story where Sarah Logan was raised by wolves in the mountains and she had to fight for all of her food? Not asking for much, WWE, I'm just wanting some consistency. And the power of flight. Lovely, lovely, lovely slice of juxtaposition here because as we all know there's oh I like you, oh I don't like you, oh I like you again, oh I've remembered, I don't like you stuff between Sasha Banks and Bayley. The confusing bollocks that it is nothing more than hot trash. So Bayley being next to a bin is great. So it turns out the big dog Roman Reigns is some kind of greyhound because the time it took for him to come from the locker room all the way through the backstage area, through Gorilla and out into the ramp, all while telling Kevin Dunn to hit his music at the right time, was as short as Enzo Amore's consensual penis. Michael, Roman Reigns, everybody, how many times we've been through this now? Roman Reigns didn't beat Brock Lesnar at the greatest Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar got off that slice of cage before Roman's feet got off that apron skirting. This isn't pissing Pinocchio, man, this is real life-ish. Saying it over and over again isn't going to make it come true, Pinocchio, man. I'm a real big dog. So after claiming that the higher-ups in WWE had come to some sort of decision as to who was going to face Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules for the Universal Championship, Curt Angle revealed that those higher-ups hadn't. Instead, there's going to be a multi-man match at Extreme Rules to decide who goes on to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. And I'm thinking, where the hell have I seen that before? Multi-man match, Extreme Rules, goes on to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. 2017, new era, same old. So during a replay for Ronda's outburst at the start of the show, Jonathan Coachman that you simply can't do that and go far in WWE. Of course, because the likes of Stone Cold, Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H at times, they stayed in line all the way through their careers, didn't they? They didn't. You numpty. Sasha Banks going home in her gear. We finally found it, lads. We found the early noughties WWE video game character come to life. And last night's Elias concert was brought to you by that band that does all the entrance themes, CFO $. CFOs, don't know what their name is. But I do, I just don't know how to say it. How many pissing times did we have to hear there's no one in the world like me, there's nothing I can't do when times get tough? Ask yourself, what would Elias do? So just to get the moral of that song across, when times get tough in your life, do not worry, lads. Just simply eat meat, lift weights, play guitar and wrestle. Now I personally don't think any of those things will help you at all, but there you go. When did Corporate Kane get back? And we end proceedings today with a little slice of Jonathan Coachman when he claimed that he's refereed a Braun Strowman match before and told Braun Strowman to leave the ring when he wasn't supposed to be there. One question, pal, when? I'm waiting. You just jabbed in between us, aren't you, Coach? But that's it for a lovely ladder-filled episode of WTF Moments. Thank you very much for being the loyalist of sexual wank pheasants. I do love you. If you want to follow me on the Twitter machine, it's at Ross on Rast. If you like what we do here at Cultaholic, it's patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you can do to support us will be appreciated greatly. And most importantly of all, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and join us everywhere.